Utility Committee meeting Tuesday, June 10th, 2008. And call to order, roll call. We have Councilman Adrian Thompson not here, and Dennis Collins is not here. And can we do the invocation? Mr. Ken Shakeson.
Dear Lord, we want to thank you for all the good things you've given us, the benefits of living in Ascension Parish. We'd like to thank you for all the hard work that people do around here. We also like to thank you for the rain that you've given us at this time that we've needed. We ask that you allow us to make good decisions about how we spend our money in this parish. And as always, we ask you to take care of our men and women overseas, and bring them all home safely. We ask all this in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment periods. Anyone that want to make any comments, you can sign up, and you have 3 minutes to speak on. Item number 4. Oh, thank you very much. We have a 2/3.
You can take that new business and old business because you don't have 2/3.
No, that's a special 2/3. That's what I'm saying. We can put it on the with the 2/3. We can put it on the new business. All right. Under make a motion to put. Need a motion to
Move to
fuel adjustment.
put a fuel adjustment for Harryville on the new business.
Second.
For discussion.
All right. Got a motion. Second by Ken Shakespeare, and second by Mr. Dempsey. No objection. It's on the new business. Item number 4, Ascension Parish Jail Improvement, Sewage and Water, Mr. Goni Gotro and Kenny Matassa.
Gentlemen, at this time, everything is starting to roll along. We're waiting for the final of the names. We changed a few things because, like, the deep well was going to be on another person's property, and we moved it. They thought it was our property, but it wasn't on the other side of the fence. So they moved it over to the front, and so it's on our property now, so they had to do a little bit more tweaking, and they knocked it down to, I think, about 10 names of landowners, which SJB and Fort Tablada had a meeting this evening to finalize those owners. And then we're going to move forward towards the end of the week to go and get them. We're working, the president's working with, what I say as far as going and get the right-of-ways and contacting the people, the owners, you know, the plants and the different ones that own those properties.
Kenny, excuse me. You mean to tell me that the land when we walked on for that lift station, that's not?
That's owned by Stashy and what else? You know,
We asked at that time if we owned that, and they said
we didn't know. You know, I thought it. You know, powers to be, you know, knew that, but it's not. It's
okay. We got a survey now that shows
we
exactly.
moved it to the side on
Well, we own that?
Parish property on the right side of the road. Yeah, in the front,
Well, if
back
we,
of the new facility.
if we own it now, why are we negotiating with these other people?
Oh no, not. This is for the pipe going to Downsville plant.
Oh,
but we
okay.
had, but that changed a few things, you know.
I understand.
And
so now
we
have
didn't
to-
want to. We'd rather put it on our property and pay a little further running the pipe than deal with buying a piece of property. That's, you know what I mean.
So that would be short of doing that.
Right, and even if it's a wash, it'll still be faster. It's on our property now. That was the problem.
Okay.
And that's all we got to say about tonight. On the next item,
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
wait, you got a question?
Mr. Dempsey.
On the permits, the railroad crossing and the, I think there was one other, permit that was looking at how the permit situations on the jail.
He's doing pretty good with in the contacts. He got some pipelines, just giving a letter of no objection. We're going to do a fast track on the railroad, $3,000 to fast track it, I guess to get their lawyers in motion, and they guarantee you now that's not going to actually pay for the permit, but it will get everything done within 2 or 3 weeks. So that's amazing for the railroad. But everything else looks like it's going good, and he's working on DOTD also. The permits are looking good right now.
Thank you for that.
Mr. Matassa, what is our estimated cost right now for that?
For the
For
new,
this project, just for
well,
this-
we're going to be at the next utility meeting with all of that because Mr. Divizak had a person in his family in the hospital, his his father-in-law. And so at next utility meeting, we'll have a total update on any costs on it.
All right, but as you know, right now, we're within our budget for the jail.
Oh, yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, we had a meeting Friday, and everything is going fairly smooth over there. I don't know if we didn't have any major, they had a little problem with the existing jail. They found that supporting wall, it's going to cost us a few dollars, but everybody concerned said it was something they couldn't see. We kind of fussed about it a little bit, but they'll be coming to you with a change order on that. But everything's in its, everything's rolling good. They're a little bit ahead of schedule as far as the building itself is rolling.
And our concerns with the water, fire protection, we have worked that out from your end.
We have permission to tie in the existing tank to the new building, but we're trying to see if we can do a contract with the fire department in Downsville about shoveling water. Waiting on the fire marshal's decision on that because John Foss has it in place. The problem is we got people sleeping there and they got to look at it a little harder. But if we got to connect it, we will, but if we don't have to connect it, we don't want to put that extra expense.
Okay.
So we'll be in place until the water tower is done.
Okay. Any more questions from Mr. Mattel? All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mattel.
Okay.
Item 5, we're going to pass on that item. That's for Mr. Adrian Thompson. And we're going to move to item number 6. And once again, it's a jail expansion task order contract with Riverside Title, Kathy Clark. Anybody can give us?
Well, my understanding of this is for them to be put on the list to be used, they'll only get paid if they do work. And they're supposed to be doing work whenever needed. And it's a contract, but it's not like X amount of dollars. It's if they are used. They're a title company. And
Mr. Shakespeare.
Yes, they called me yesterday, and all that is they were interested in doing some local title, and they said they can do it all, land acquisition and title, and they know the people, and I think we ought to give them an opportunity to take a look at it. We have some other people on task order, and I think it would be a good thing to bring them in the areas that they have the expertise. They can get some work, and some areas where other people have more expertise, they can get their work. So
it's no set amount, it's just for them to be on
yeah,
the
just
list.
to be on the list so that
Right. And y'all could use them for road or whatever projects if
legally
y'all-
they could do whatever project that they would qualify for.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
right.
I move that we put them on task order contract, administration, work out that.
Got a motion by Mr. Shakespeare,
Second.
second by Mr. Dempsey. All right. No objection to the motion? No question? Motion passed. Question, this have to go to full council
Yes.
full council, so you
It's
can put it on the full
recommendation.
council. Next meeting, please, ma'am. Okay, item number 7, and, for new business, and we have on there the fuel adjustment for Hueyville. Mr. Kenny Matassa, can you give us a, update of what the situation of that?
Mr. Lynn Chance is going to explain that and talk about that fuel adjustment costs for that project.
Giving you some information that was provided by the contractor and their subcontractor, Daigle and R.J. Daigle and Sons. If you'll look at the graphs, the last 3 sheets in the handout that I just gave you, it shows that diesel trend costs really started to go up in February of this year. There was a fairly consistent rise from January '07 when the project was advertised, but then it's had a very sharp increase since February of this year. If you'll look at the stone cost on the next graph, stone cost stayed pretty stable until July of '07, and then they've had a very sharp increase since that point in time. And then the last one is asphaltic cement that's used to manufacture the hot mix. You can see that there was a slight drop in cost between January '07 and August of '07, but since then there's been a very, very sharp increase in cost. On that basis, Daigle wrote a letter, and you can see their letter in the package, stating that their cost had increased, and they were requesting through Pattison an increase in price for their asphalt work. The work to be done on the Hillaryville project is both milling and overlay work, and the subcontractor's cost is an additional $2.35 a square yard. And then if you look at the first sheet, the spreadsheet there, I've summarized those. The bid price was $19 a square yard. Daigle is asking for $2.35 a square yard. Pattison is allowed a 5% markup by the contract, so that's another 12 cents for a total increase of $2.47. The adjusted price would then be $21.47. The quantity of work to be done in the project is 6,100 square yards with an original project cost of $115,900. With this amendment, the cost would go up to $130,967, or a $15,067 increase.
Question?
We're getting very close to the point of starting the paving work, so that's why we wanted to bring it to you tonight, so that we could see what your feelings are on this issue, and at that point, then we can proceed to a full change order. So I guess the recommendation is if you see that this is warranted, that we would recommend that you pass this on to the Finance Committee for you know, to see where the money's gonna come from.
Well,
Mr. Shea.
I got a couple questions. Number one, been hearing a lot of things about Patterson Company, and they hadn't all been good, but hadn't all been bad. We've got a project that we need to get finished, and I think the ending date was supposed to be,
March the 12th right now is the date.
yeah,
Was the date for
Right.
substantial completion, and the contractor has not submitted any claims at all for additional contract time.
right. And so if he would have completed it in the time he was supposed to, the price per ton over here has been considerably less, probably about what he's
Well,
asked.
really,
asked
if you
for.
consider February, and he wouldn't have been doing, obviously, this work is the last work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing that Mr. Matassa had asked me, and looking at the data that Daigle presented, you know, maybe the prices wouldn't have been quite so bad, but yet they were still being hit with some increased costs, so.
Right, I understand, but it, according to what they've given us right here, substantially
Right.
less.
Right.
Okay, if they would have done their job and done the contract on time, they would have had it at the cost that they probably bid on. I would have been fine with that. You know, I have a problem that we have a company that's doing work, and they take longer than they should, and they've had a number of problems, and then we turn around and, so to speak, reward them for the extra time they give by giving them extra money because of cost increase. And I dare say that if price would have gone down $1 and something or $2 and something, I don't think they would have been lined up asking for a refund or looking to give us a refund. I'm not trying to be cold or anything about it is, but we've got a contract on this, and we're about, my understanding, about $1 million over on this contract. From originally starting out at $1.2 million to, what is it, $2.2 million, Kenny? And counting?
But I don't know the exact total of the overage.
Yeah, but I mean, we're substantially higher than what we were told at the beginning, when we wanted to move forward with this.
Well, the construction cost has not increased. It's the inspection cost that really increased.
Well, that's because of the amount of time.
Right.
Inspection costs were the same from the beginning of the contract. The reason the inspection costs increased so much is because the contractor is taking so long to do the job.
That's correct.
So the inspection cost is not the reason for this problem, it's the contractor.
That's-
You know, I mean, we need to say exactly what it is, and it caused the inspection costs to go up. So, you know, I'm not in favor, unless we have a contract that says that we're supposed to pay them extra money, you know, I'm not in favor of that at all. If they would have been.
There is a provision in the contract that allows them to ask for an adjustment on cost.
Yes, they sure can ask, but I mean, unless we're required to pay them, I would like to, you know, to have this go back to administration, and if they have a, you know, well, in fact, I would like to make a motion that we not pay this unless our contract from the administration says that we should pay this, and we're obligated contractually to pay it.
I mean, we're just bringing what the contractor presented.
Look,
to
I
us.
appreciate what you're doing, you know, Mr. Chance, Mr. Lynn, but, you know,
Right.
I mean, the contractor is the one here. I mean, he's the one that needs to take this and do what he's supposed to do and fulfill his contract. And, you know, I've been in contracts before where things have gotten and changed by the time you start and the time you finish, and most people just say you got a contract. And so unless we have some provision in there, I would like to see us stick with the contract.
Mr. Cedric Grant from the administration is here.
Thank you, gentlemen. I've been following this issue very closely. The issue here at stake, at hand, is that we are following the 2006 DOTD specifications for road work, okay? That did not include provisions for fuel adjustment charges. Okay? There was a subsequent amendment of the DOTD specifications that include the ability for people, for contractors to request fuel adjustment charges. I'm asking legal to give me an interpretation if that tracks, that subsequent amendment tracks the specifications, and therefore we would be obligated to consider the request. And I'm not prepared at this point to tell you that we have that answer. So I appreciate the deferral, and I'll bring it back to you with an answer.
Okay, that'd be fine.
But, Mr. Grant, or maybe Lynn, what is the date? What are you looking at as far as installing the asphalt out here? What are y'all trying, what's the date? They have essentially completed all of the testing work, so the asphalt work can proceed at any time because it's not controlled by the river stage, which is the real reason right now why additional work is not proceeding. And so, yeah, I think this is the best thing. We'll just, like you said, defer on this and.
I just have to ask one more question on that.
Go ahead.
But currently, what I understand that is, Dago RJ is requesting from Patterson for the increase.
Right, because R.J. Daigle and Sons is a subcontractor to Patterson. So RJ cannot ask that directly because they don't have a contract with the parish.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see Mr. Todd Lambert out there.
Yeah, I kind of believe what Kent said, and we've got to be careful on this, is setting the precedents. You know, if we get a fuel adjustment on this contract, we have probably 20 other contracts out there that we're going to have to come back and do some fuel adjustments. So it's unfortunate the fuel cost is going up, but we all paying for it too. And we're not getting raises to go to our jobs, you know, just because of fuel costs. So something we need to look at.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I have another councilman out there like to speak on this, behalf of this matter. Mr. Kulak.
Yes, Mr. Oliver and council members. I got just a quick question basically on our contracts, and we're talking about DOTD specifications. Are we following the old red book, or are we in the new blue book? Mr. Bob?
We're in the 2006 edition.
So you're in the blue book.
Okay, that blue book helped me out a whole lot, but I'm gonna leave that up to administration. And we're gonna defer this. We got a motion on the floor to defer this. By Mr. Shakespeare, second by Mr. Dempsey. And any objection to the motion? We'll refer that to the next meeting. Deferred. All right. Any old business? All right, item number 8.
Move to adjourn.
All right, motion to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.